First of all, thank you for having me here. I talked to some of my coworkers to come up with some questions that I would like to ask you all. And one of the things that is really relevant here in Eastern Kentucky is, of course, the loss of the many coal jobs that we've had here in Eastern Kentucky. And it's put a really hard strain on not only on my family, as well as my husband worked in the natural gas industry, but other family members as well. So what is your plan maybe to support and increase funding for the development of the coal industry? Do you have any plans to maybe replace those jobs or do anything for those displaced workers?
Mr. Leach?
Thank you, Andrea, for the question. Touching, some have already touched the realities of coal here in Kentucky. As he mentioned, we actually import coal to Kentucky from other states to fuel our power plants as it is. So even within the coal market such as it exists, we have a competitive disadvantage. More so, unfortunately, here in Eastern Kentucky than in Western Kentucky, where it costs approximately 2.5 times as much to harvest, extract what is left of our accessible coal seams. So that's reality. Add to that the glut in natural gas, which has come about with new technology and fracking, which Mr. Wilder and I will both say has brought its own host of problems and possible concerns, but nonetheless it exists with a glut of natural gas. When you want to couple conventional fossil fuels with new renewable energy sources, you need a power plant that can ramp up easily, ramp down quickly. Gas has an advantage of that. Add to that the fact that renewables are becoming cost competitive even without government subsidies with fossil fuels. There's another hindrance going forward. These are the realities, unfortunately, with coal. And as Celis and others have said, any politician is going to stand to you and say that we're going to bring back all the coal jobs that have steadily declined over the last 30 years is being dishonest with you. So what is the solution? I think Secretary Clinton's plan that she ruled out October-November timeframe was one of the most comprehensive plans I've seen for addressing what's going on in our coal communities, not only here in Appalachia, but even out west. Calls for a $30 billion investment in these regions. Calls for protecting and guaranteeing the pension funds that are being abandoned as these coal companies go belly up. Of course, our senior senator voted not to help shore up those pensions. Invest in education, free public education for affected communities for higher education. Investments in infrastructure and innovation. Now, the bottom line is your family, sir, and other Kentucky families for generations have sacrificed their health, their lives to fuel the great American economy.
That's right.
We will now not stand by and watch them be collateral damage to a shifting, changing economy. As your U.S. Senator, I will fight to ensure that you are invested in and valued and paid the due respect you have for the sacrifices you have made for this country.
Thank you, Mr. Leach.